All right. So what's going on, everybody? May peace and power, elevation be to all of you. This your girl Tiffany coming through live in effect. So tonight I want to talk about For the Price of Fame. Now, what really got me wanting to discuss this topic is because there's a documentary out called On the Record, and On the Record is supposed to be dealing with about what goes on behind the scene in the music industry. So, and particularly, it's a woman that's telling her story about what she has experienced working with hip hop mogul like Russell Simmons and L.A. Reid. So, yeah, and I haven't really got a chance to see the documentary. I looked at the preview. However, it's pretty painful. I know that for sure. And it wouldn't be as surprising to me. Now, what I want to say is, the reason why I say it's not going to be very surprising to me if I was really watching it, because for the price of fame, people would do anything and everything to build a status, to build a name for themselves. People oftentimes think that because they are famous, that it will equate to wealth. People think because they got number one hits that that's supposed to be their wealth. People think because they got the number one album that they automatically going to be wealthy. But it comes at a cost. See, some people are very malicious and very conniving because they want you to give something up in order to get the fame that you want. That's what they want you to do. So, and particularly, especially if you're a female artist, whether you be R&B, whether you be a pop singer, whether you be a rapper, there's going to always be that top executive producer. Well, no, not producer. Let me take that back. The A&R or the CEO, the founder of a company. They want you to offer your body, prostituting yourself, in order for you to earn your profit or your recognition. So, I have heard this story many times before. I have heard stories about women getting raped. I have heard stories about men indulging into sexual activity with other men just so they can become famous. And it's not in just the music industry. It's also in the movie industry as well. There's a lot of that going on. Now, people are not going to come out in public eye and say, hey, yeah, this will happen. I mean, some will, but there are those who rather keep it to themselves because they feel like that would tarnish their image. So they have to create the facade for the world to believe that this is who they are and that they can't do no wrong and they live in a perfect life. But then behind closed doors, they suffer in silence. They suffer in a state of depression, with little to no help. And with the price of fame, you are pretty much playing into politics. You gotta play politics. If you don't give in to somebody's politics, you on the losing team. You know, it's like that throughout life. Okay, especially when you try to get on the corporate level, there's gonna always be somebody that's gonna try to offer you something or try to get you to do something in return. So it's a game of chess. It's like you getting your hands dealt, right? You playing cards, and whatever card that you're dealt, that's the hand that you gotta play. But then here's a trick, right? They might tell you to do this, but then they won't do that to somebody else. They might try to make a move on you, but they won't make that same move on the other person. It's a way of seeing. See, it's a way of playing psychological games to see who they can get over, who is vulnerable, who is gullible, and who is easy to take advantage of. But at the end of the day, let me tell you like this, okay? In all conclusion, everybody that's famous ain't always wealthy. Everybody that's famous is not always wealthy. And everybody that's wealthy is not always famous. Now let's look at the success of Tyler Perry. First and foremost, I'm proud of Tyler Perry. Okay? I'm proud of the fact that he has made it to that highest level. He has entertained us. He has made us laugh. You see what I'm saying? But what did Tyler Perry have to do to get to that level? Well, like any other male comedians, Tyler Perry figured that in order to get to that level of success, that he will masquerade himself as a woman, dress up as a woman named Madea, because he was inspired by the females in his family. Now, some of you might say, well, why he couldn't get the other females actors to do that? He could have, but he just wanted to personify the image, just so people become entertained and people can laugh. So he wants, that's just a routine of being a comedian or being an entertainer. Same way with the young man from what's his name? His name is Quay, but he goes by the name TT. Well, that's his other character, TT. Now Quay seems like a very talented guy. He could sing, but he's well known for playing TT. Now, if he was to play himself, Quay, he would not get that much attention. But because he played as this character, he's gained a lot of attention. He's gained a lot of recognition, especially from female audience, female viewers, people laughing. That's what happened with a lot of male comedians and entertainers. What they'll do is they will masquerade as the opposite sex, just so they can grab more attention. And then the other young man, what's his name? Jay Will. He was on Love Hip Hop in Hollywood, I believe. Yes, Hollywood. Okay. a young African American brother. Now I think he identifies as being bisexual, if I'm not mistaken, but he's very talented. He can rap. But you know who he's known to play? He's known to be Candy. So people love him when he played the hell out of Candy. But when he's himself, just being Jay Will, a lot of people can't embrace that. So how did he get his price of fame? By playing Candy. But what the hard part about it is, when he was on that reality show, right? There was a scene where he was doing an audition. He was auditioning, and he came in plain clothes, just looking like himself, and he was rapping. And they didn't want that. The judges was like, nah, we don't want, that's cool, but we want Candy. We don't want Jay Will. And it pretty much hurted him. Because he wanted to be able to showcase his talent as a rapper. He wanted to be able to get into the industry. But they didn't want that from him. They wanted him to masquerade himself like a woman and be Candy. And that's what he's doing. Last time I checked. But I'm using these things as an example, talking about the music industry and the movie industry and the entertainment, and how people have to go outside of themselves, right, for that price of fame. But let me show you something else, and then I'm going to close out. See, there's 3 reasons why people act. There's 3 reasons why people act. People act to survive. People act to be in control. And to entertain. Survive, control, entertain. Those are 3 kind of actors you have. So you don't just have actors in Hollywood. You don't just have those in the industry, the music industry. You have people in real life. They carry on those attributes. So, that being said, that concludes this video for tonight. And I just wanted to talk about the price of fame. So the price of fame means that you will have to go extra steps to grab people's attention or to get what you want. But one thing we got to remember, all money ain't good money. All money ain't good money. But because we're in a time that we're in desperate need for survival and to take care of our family and provide a roof over our head or start a business or something, there are those of us that will go above and beyond, do whatever we got to do just to get it. Even if that means that we got to be slave to it. Then there are those of us who just rather just suffer and not even attempt to do so. This all goes back to the slave and master morality. Yes, you can become the slave to the money. You can become a slave to money. Or you can, better yet, you can become a slave to fame. You can become a slave to fame. You will do whatever you got to do to get that level of attention. Look at Instagram. You see a lot of these females shaking their asses, showing off their breasts, doing all that extra stuff. Because you know why? They want to be the next Megan Thee Stallion. They want to be the next Cardi B. They want to be the next Nicki Minaj. The next Cash Doll. The next Mulatto. They want to be the next female rappers or female model. And they doing it to see how many people would start liking them and give how many attention they would get. And they feel like the more attention they would get, the more recognition they get, and then they have possibility to get some form of fame and some form of revenue. But it doesn't always happen like that. It's not always the case. But what you got is people desperate for attention. Anyways, that's all I want to talk about. So I will reconnect with you guys later, but please take it easy, okay? With that being said, may peace and power elevation be to all of you, and thank you guys for tuning in. All right.